Welcome. This is part 5 of the Edward Art Supply series titled Imagining is Fun. Again, a link to the post and Edward's channel will be in the description below. Imagining is Fun, Part 5. A fundamental truth in regards to thoughts and feelings that I discovered is this. Thoughts come from your feelings. Do you understand what that means? Truly, do you see how that changes everything? This means all those thoughts of fear, all those thoughts of what bad thing could happen, all the thoughts of what if it never happens, every one of them comes from the feeling. If you're truly honest with yourself and take an objective, critical examination of your mind, ask yourself this: where are these thoughts coming from? Or in other words, what is generating these thoughts? The moment a thought that sparks fear in you happens, if you pay close attention, very close attention, and slow it all down, you'll notice that this is not the thought that happened first. It was your feeling of fear that happened first. This is so difficult to notice, but if you pay attention, you will see it. What does all this mean, and why is it important? This is crucial because if the feeling that is causing of the thought, then that means the thought has no power on its own. That means the thought has no truth in itself. That means the thought is created. It means that if you change your feeling, all the thoughts necessary for you to think for your bridge of incidents are already laid out for you. It means you don't have to worry if you are having the right thoughts or if you are saying the right things in your mind. No more trying to think perfectly. So many times I had fearful thoughts or doubting thoughts, and I would wonder, what is the underlying belief? What belief do I have to change in order to stop having all these thoughts? Then I would find something like, I am safe. Then I would repeat that all day long in my mind, trying to change the belief. But a belief is just a feeling. It feels true. From that position, you think in the nature of those thoughts. Change the word belief to feeling. Think only in terms of these: creating, feeling, and thinking. You create the feeling you want from the thoughts that come. That is a state. Remove this idea that beliefs are hard to change and they are blockages in your subconscious. That is resistance that must be conquered, and all of that. You are just making this far more complicated to free yourself in your own mind. It is your mind, and you can do and feel whatever you like. You are creating all your blockages, and you are creating the difficulties of removing them. Now change the word belief to feeling, because the word belief sounds too difficult to change. But once you change a belief to merely a feeling, just like desiring is a feeling, the idea of changing a feeling sounds completely achievable. Because in the end, that is all that must be changed, because from there, you think thoughts in correlation with the nature of the feeling. What you feel to be true is self, and there's nothing to change but self. Feeling is everything. Fearful feeling gives birth to fearful thoughts. If you change your feeling, you would simply see there is no truth in your fearful thoughts. The only reason why you believe them to be true is simply because you feel it. Let's give an example. You are laying in bed, and then the thought of someone breaking into your house enters your mind. Then you feel fear, and then the thought starts to feel real to you. Then you worry if you will manifest that into your life, etc. Then you try to find the underlying belief, and you randomly pick some belief that makes sense. Maybe you think of memories from your childhood, teenage years, etc. Then you try to create a new belief to replace the old one, so you repeat, I am safe in my house. You repeat this over and over, trying to get yourself to believe this. Maybe you will feel a bit of relief tonight, but tomorrow it happens again, and the cycle continues. This was my way for a long time, and let me tell you, it sucks. It's a crappy and inefficient way of changing yourself. It's stressful and lacks understanding of self. Here's a far, far better way to approach that. You are laying in bed. The thought of a robber comes. Fear sparks. The thought seems real to you. You stop right there. Ask yourself, why am I creating this? The answer is, because of my feeling of fear. So I feel fear, and from this I think of robbers. There is no truth in the thought of being robbed. It is just generated by my feeling. If I were to change my feeling, all those thoughts would cease, and just like the robber thought happened naturally, I would think from a new feeling naturally. So there is simply an underlying feeling of being unsafe. Remove this whole belief of being unsafe. Understanding it is just a feeling helps you see what you need to change. Then understand that it is all happening in your mind. Realize you can feel safe in your mind. You can feel entirely confident and safe in your mind. Then remind yourself of this truth. I can feel safe in here. In here, I am entirely safe. This is a feeling. Then start to feel that. Just feel it. Don't question or reason or think. Just feel. Why just feel? Here's why. Remember, we think from our feelings. This is how we know if we are in a state. So just feel and feel and feel. Give yourself entirely to the feeling, because the feeling is your end. And then you will naturally think from that position. There's no work on your part. So bring yourself back to the Creator. Stop identifying yourself with the thoughts and understanding that they are coming from the feeling. From this, you simply change your feeling to what you want to feel. Your answer to what you should do and feel is always in your wants. To truly change your feeling, it must be a feeling you deeply, deeply want to feel. I must stress that. If you sincerely feel what you always wanted to feel, you will naturally think from that position. That is a state. That is living in the end. It is all feelings. It cannot be something you semi-want that will never change you. It will change for a bit, but you will never commit to it. It must be a feeling you are yearning for. Example for my own self. I used to be critical on myself and my mind in a negative way. Not healthy. I would call myself names and put myself down in my mind. I would consistently feel guilty for what I have done or what I might do. I thought it was impossible to fix because I tried so hard and nothing changed me. Or if it did, it would only last a week and I'm back to feeling like shit and talking down to myself. I would naturally think of punishments coming my way, and I would try to change those thoughts to change my feeling. I would rationalize my way out for hours to find myself entering a new cave. My gut always had this underlying feeling of tension. I tried my best to give myself relief, but like I said, I could not find relief for more than a week, maybe a month here and there. I wanted relief, but everything I did just did not work. I would do SATs and replay the scene over and over, mental diet all day. When it comes to this stuff, you name it, I tried it. But over time, I realized I was attacking thoughts, the agent Smiths in my mind, not the actual cause. The truth is, you can think anything in your mind, but most importantly, you can feel anything in your mind. You can actually feel what you want. I do not mean just a basic want like, I am loved. That is good. But don't you want to feel more than that? Neville said, don't tell me what you don't want, tell me what you want. What do you want? Just a bit of love, or do you really want to feel like you're the most loved being in all of existence and there's nothing but love in your mind and everyone in your mind cherishes you deeply to help you in your life and you don't have anything to receive this amount of love? Why not feel that? Because of what? Fear? You are still afraid to feel that? If you don't feel that, you are rejecting yourself from that experience. So don't complain when the world rejects you of it all. Free yourself in your mind entirely. Stop caring if it will happen or what will happen. Reality is your mind. It reflects self. Now that I am feeling what I want to feel, what I've always wanted to feel, I find myself having difficulty criticizing myself. Whenever I have an old thought come up, I just don't feel or fear it at all. It doesn't seem real to me anymore. That is how I know all fear was an illusion. It always has been. I cannot seriously sit down and talk down to myself anymore, especially not after the Pharaoh meditation. I'm making myself king in my mind. I don't have time to talk down to myself. I love seeing how myself is being reflected too. People are seeing me in a whole different way because I'm seeing myself entirely different. I'm seeing myself how I want to see myself. Because I can, so can you. This should be so much fun too. I'm speaking with a good friend yesterday and we are laughing about this. He asked, "So what do you do when you are speaking with someone and you don't want to listen to them?" I said, "I imagine what I want." Now, truth is, I sometimes get annoyed. It's only human, but I have a mind. Then he said, "So you just hear them saying, 'You are so awesome, you are the greatest'?" And I said, "If that's what I want to hear, yes." It always comes down to my wants in my mind. I want to fulfill them all. This is my goal. Excuse my cursing, but I fucking hate living in desire. I know this is a long post, but listen to these words. Feel everything you want, and the thoughts will come. It is fun. It is only fun if you imagine and feel what you want. It's not fun trying to get or trying to manifest or checking the world to see if it's growing. Growth, getting what you want, experiencing what you want is within. Here's a quote from Neville. You don't have to sit down and burst a blood vessel pounding out the details of your desire. You can imagine as you walk down the street. A simple assumption is easy and can be lots of fun. Feeling is the secret. Thank you for listening.